How's it going? This is Qazi from cleverprogrammer.com. Welcome to how to make money as a freelance developer and how to make $1,000 or more this upcoming month. Now, this is part 2 and day 2 of the challenge, and we're going to keep this rocking and rolling for you guys. This is about a freelance movement that we're trying to create, and we want you all to be a part of it. You're not too late, and nobody's beginner or too advanced for this. You all can be in this together. And the entire goal of this movement, and it kind of came to me randomly, is the goal of this movement is for us to, like, we want to get to that long-term goal, right? We all want to get to that like crazy long-term goal that we have of, man, I wish I could be making this much money, or I could be doing this amazing life. The goal of this challenge is to take those first steps towards it, because oftentimes the steps here are missing and never revealed. And it's just like, yeah, here's how you can make $10,000 a month or something crazy like that. But I care about some of you making your first $5 this week. I care about some of you maybe making your first $50 this week, or $500, whatever it is for you, right? That would be super exciting. And that's the movement we're creating. How can we all increase our income? And my focus came on this because I started focusing on increasing my income, because I'm like, look, I'm focusing on all my other goals, relationship goals and fitness goals, and I'm focusing on team development goals. And we have an amazing team with Sonny and Naz and Rishi and Yusuf and David and Amanath and Frankie and Aaron. We're bringing so much value. That's great. So content goals are being crushed. Body goals are being crushed. Nutrition goals, food goals, sleep goals, health goals. But what about my income goals? Somewhere along the line, I felt like I forgot that. And that's important for me to keep increasing. And I thought, why not we all create a movement where we're in it together, increasing all of our income? Does that make sense, guys? And I hope that that's also exciting to you. And welcome everybody that is here. Man, am I pumped to have you guys on here. And if you guys can do me a favor and get this video out to as many people as possible, just go ahead and smash that like button. Just break it, click it maybe a few times, but really smash that like button. It would do me a huge favor and get this video out to other people. And then it will help also transform their lives as well. And it's free. It doesn't cost anything. All right. With that said, let's just jump right into it. So amazing. Let's go here. So now, right now, some far less qualified people than you are living your dreams, all because they didn't just talk about it, they took action. I want you to remember that. And I want to show you a few rock star action takers that are here and part of Clever Programmer. And when that grind pay off, baby, we show off. So it's okay to show off when you put in the hard work, all right? Bragging hard is not a crime. Here is Nasir, who's actually my 14-year-old student, and he cleared $900 in just 1 week, all right? What's insane, and he actually reached out to me on Instagram yesterday, and he's actually in Pakistan, okay? He's not even in the United States. So this is equivalent of somebody making like $9,000 in US. That's how big of a deal that is. People make $900 in like 6 months in Pakistan. So if he can do it, my question is, can you also do something? Can you also make progress? Can you also make some amount of income, even if it's not $900? A lot of it is a thing that is in our mind, and it kind of blocks us. What is up, everybody? Welcome here. Srikar says he got an internship. That's amazing. Guys, whatever you're getting or whatever is happening, please make sure that you keep sharing proof of it, and you can do it on my Instagram. My Instagram is right here. So you can actually share with me. And we're compiling a document with everybody's results and everybody's wins and how much income everybody's making. So far, we have over $2,000 made that is documented so far. So $2,000 have already been made. We just started this movement yesterday. Granted, we're taking some of the people who got income from a week before that, but that's okay. Any income. We're gonna document it. So we're right now at about $2,000, and we want to get to 10,000 and more. All right. And we're gonna show off every single person who's making income, even if it's not as much or you think it's not as impressive. Srikar says he sent me proof at my IG. Okay, let's take a look. So let's go here. Srikar. All right, where is it? Let's see here. Okay, I don't see a photo from you, bro. So I don't see it yet. But if I see it, then for sure. Also, I'm going to be taking on callers at some point in this stream. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to get on a call with some of you guys, okay? So I'll let you guys know that later. All right. Regarding yesterday's live stream, here's what one of the students had to say, Shlok. And he said so he goes, hey man, just saw your last video on YouTube that said how to earn $1,000 as a freelance developer in 30 days. Just can't be thankful enough for the value you've provided. I would say you just hit the right chords. Talking about myself, I'm a JavaScript developer having experience of around 3 years now. So to speak, for the last 45 days, my income has been zero. All right. So for how many people is this happening where you have some experience? And is this you, by the way? If some of you resonate with what you read so far, drop it in the comments below. But do you feel like you are coding or learning coding maybe for the last few months or last few years, but you really haven't made any income from it? Maybe you just get caught up with tutorial after tutorial or project after project, but no real results with it. And he goes, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to add value to this challenge and make the best out of it. That's a great attitude. Yep. Ido City says, my guy, talk back to me. What's up, bro? All right. And I'll add here. Nice. Dude, I want to be that guy. Nice. Okay. Now I can start showing people's comments as well. And he goes, I'm sure of sharing income proof as I make progress in coming days, so you guys can share proof as well. And I've recently asked a question on my IG story, which no one really gave the answer I was expecting. The question he asked, what is the best thing money can buy? This is exactly what you spotted in the video, freedom. Basically, in the video, I said money can buy freedom. And that's the ultimate thing that I want with money. And he goes, literally what I'm striving for right now. Thank you so much for bringing this straight to us. Love you, man. Awesome. Okay. Jennifer Stewart says, Fiverr is a ripoff. It really depends what you're doing with it. If you don't use it in the right way, I mean, most of these websites can have that effect, right? Including Craigslist, obviously. So you have to kind of don't give up on it. There are people making literally millions of dollars on Fiverr. It's just a matter of avoiding the quote unquote ripoff situations, right? And you get seasoned as you do it more. Here's another student that shared with me. Mohammed shared with me yesterday, and he said, I didn't register in your course, bro, but I did follow your tutorials, and they're amazing. After learning React and Django through your tutorials, I made $1,200 since August. Thanks to you, I'm making $400 pretty much every 20 days, which is good enough for at my place. And again, another student in Pakistan. So that's a lot of income. So look at this. He made over $1,200 and making $400 every month in Pakistan, right? That is absolutely brilliant. Vanguard said, I made $300 in a week by a simple React single page application on Fiverr. Boom. There you go. That's amazing to hear. That just made my day. That's awesome. And that's a movement we're starting. Regardless of what your level is, I want you to start applying now and start doing things now and building habits now that start making you some amount of income, and set your goal to making $5 this week, because that small goal will move you in the right direction. For example, when you put on your running shoes, you don't have to be an amazing person. It will just propel you to start getting out of your house to then start running, even if you run for 30 seconds. right? So if you set your goal to something small, it'll now start moving in the direction to start wanting to do it. Absolutely great job. That's awesome, Vanguard. Share that with us on Instagram as well, please. That will be amazing. Shirkar says, I got $50 building hackathon app. That's awesome. Dope. Nice. Okay. Loving the questions from you guys and the comments. So this was somebody watching the live stream from yesterday and taking notes on it. So if you guys want to bring something to take notes on, I would highly recommend it. This would be a very good time to do it and take notes on these things, and it's going to bring you a lot of value. And here's another student, and he says, and the rest of he goes, thank you, and the rest of the team community could not have done this without you. Fingers crossed. He's our student in PWJ, Brad, and Brad is like super, super awesome. So we love having Brad in our course, Profit with JavaScript, and he's just been always hustling. He's always reaching out to us on Instagram and like messaging us. And I just love his energy. And if you guys want to take photos like this and tag me, guys, we reshare everybody's story. So you can do that and then tag me on IG and I will reshare your stories. Take pictures like this because this makes it like a real community, right? This is super cool to see you guys coding and working on things. It's even better than just seeing a laptop or a coding screen. This is much, much, much better. So take photos like this and tag us. All right. Cool. So now I want to like share with you guys a few things in a little bit, and we're going to go over them, and we're going to start really getting into the meat of what we're going to be talking about. Hey, this is cool. You can actually see the YouTube stats and how they're doing. So generally when the viewership is going down, we know, oh crap, something bad is happening. Like what just happened here? It just dropped. Maybe the internet disconnected or something like that. And then when it goes up, it's like, nice, it's working. And it seems like you guys are enjoying the content. So now here's what I want to share with you guys, right? Work-life balance and how can we improve our life and how can we improve our income? Let me ask you a question. Are you here to improve your life? Yes or no? Another question I want to ask you. Are you here to improve your income? Yes or no? If those answers are yes, that's why we're here. That's why we're in this community, right? And do you want to become a better developer? Yes or no? And if you answer 3 to all of them, that's the entire point of what we do and teach and share at Clever Programmer. And so what I want to do is share with you guys what are the things that are really working for me right now that are helping me improve my body, that are helping me optimize my mind, that are helping me generate sales and increase my income, and helping me crush it with all types of goals. So I'm going to share with you guys my day, and I do these reflections on my Instagram every single day. So if you guys ever follow me, you will be able to see these reflections, but I want to share this with you because my goal is I don't know what's going to happen with there are 193 people watching right now, and there are probably going to be thousands of people watching afterwards. I don't know what's going to happen with all of them, but if there's just one person that can get a transformation out of it or that starts picking up one of these things, I think your life is going to improve. And that is what excites me and motivates me to do these things. And what really excites me is when you guys share with me that you guys are actually doing some of these things and it's helping you. All right. So I'm going to now share the screen and we're going to get to it. Yo, Rudolph, he says yes, yes, and yes. Amazing. Tomas says yes. Awesome. Absolutely. Mateus Tech says yes. Code Ninja, yes, again, again. Beautiful. Sabir says, heck yeah. Man, I love your guys' energy. Guys, we're definitely going to get on calls on this live stream, okay? So here we go. So here is my full day yesterday, okay? So I worked out. That's the first thing I start my day off with because that's the one thing guaranteed that's going to help move my life forward every single day forever. Okay. So that's something I start my day off with. So then I have good momentum. Next up, I had really good food consumption yesterday. So I'm trying to get my protein up to 120 or 150 grams per day. So I ate a lot of good food. So whether it was like chicken breasts or protein shakes or salmon, whatever it is that I can help fuel and optimize my body. Now, why I say this stuff is important and why I'm even sharing this with you is you're probably sitting there thinking, what does food have to do with coding? What does food have to do with development? Well, let me tell you something. I used to code for long stretches of 13 to 15 hours a day. That's why I got so good at coding in such a short amount of time. And that's why I was making $100,000 a year just 6 months into my coding experience. But what I did that was really bad is I pretty much starved myself the entire time, because what would happen when I would eat food is right after I would eat food, I would just feel completely sluggish, tired, and all I would want to do is sleep. If you resonate with that, drop that in the comments below. If you ever feel that where you eat food and then all you kind of just want to do is just like lay down, relax, sleep, but you don't have the willpower to do crazy things anymore. Well, here's actually what it is. When you are hungry and you don't actually eat food for a long period of time, literally why your brain is so active is because it's genuinely searching for food. So your brain stays sharp. When your brain is sharp, you can problem solve. You can build that project for your client. You can get that job or pass that interview that you were working really hard for. Does that make sense? So people are like, yeah, how do you get so much? How do you even code if you're hungry and not focused? So I'm going to answer all these things. These are great questions and comments you guys. Sayed says, yep, it happens to me. Nice. Okay. Nice. So here's the thing. If you don't know what you're doing with food, it's going to actually destroy your productivity and it's going to destroy your income. I'm not fucking kidding. So what you have to do is either one, just avoid food at all costs. That's what I started doing. But then I started starving myself and I started becoming scrawny, and I didn't want to be scrawny. I want to be fucking jacked. I want to be like, I want to be big and I want to be strong and I want to be healthy so I can be there for my family and my teammates and whatever the case may be, right? Whatever situation I'm in. So when it comes to food, what I've started doing is I'm now eating lower calories, and I'm mainly what I'm doing is I'm reducing my carbs and maximizing my protein intake. So all that means is I'm from Pakistan, right? So my family ate a lot of bread and naan and roti and stuff. That stuff is so carb loaded that it will mess you up. Like, it makes you want to sleep. It's the best food on the planet. And like, there's no better food than that. But all you want to do is just like sleep. So what I've started doing is I've started cutting a lot of that out so I can just have chicken breast, but without the bread. I just have, salmon, but without really any bread or anything like that, without any white rice. That, what it does is I can now eat and stay healthy, but my focus is for very long periods of time. So I can actually focus for 8 to 10 hours a day if I wanted to. So I did want to mention that and make it a point, because I think that if you guys just made that little tiny switch in what you do, it's going to help you so freaking much. All right. Ahmed is like, biryani, man. Biryani is tasty. I know, bro, but that shit is awesome and amazing, but it's going to fuck you up. So that's why I mention it. Yeah. Somebody said sugar shaw effect. Yeah. My girlfriend is into fitness, so she helped me as well with this. So yeah, so I would reduce the carbs like crazy, right? Like right now, I'm drinking just pure black coffee, and it's absolutely amazing. You can't really see it, but it's just black coffee. Reduce the carb, reduce the calories in your day. You're gonna feel so damn good, and you're gonna be energized, and your income will thank you. So wanted to make that a point. Next up, I'm not gonna talk too much about this, but I have increased my water intake. So I always make sure that I'm consistently drinking water throughout the day. And then I have my Apple Watch and I track my water with that. It's super easy. I just click one button and then I click one button. The app is called Water Minder. So really amazing app. But water intake helped me. So moving forward, I shot my video. Most of you don't give a fuck about that, so that's fine. I'm just going to move past this. But this is helpful for me building my brand and me moving towards my goals. So it's important for me, right? For you, it might be you need to code for 30 minutes or an hour every day and make it a thing. I did the YouTube video yesterday and it crushed. You guys seem to love it. We got over 10,000 views. It provided a ton of value for people, so I was happy. Now, here's the other thing that you guys will actually care about. I closed a sale for about $1,200 cash yesterday using the phone at about 5:33 p.m. Now, let me ask you guys, would you guys be happy if in one day you were able to make $1,200 in 30 minutes? Aditya says, I was also eating good and working out, but then COVID happened. Yes, that's exactly what happened to me, and it threw me out of the loop. But you can't, I know you know this, but you can't let this be an excuse because it's going to hurt you from your goals and it's going to make you a worse person than you are now. So you can blame it as much as you want, but it's really not going to help you, Aditya, move forward in your life. So it was the thing that was stopping me and fucking me up. So I hate not doing anything but lifting. So I just stopped doing anything. But then I started doing a push-up program because I'm like, that you can do without weights. And you can still eat healthy food. So avoid that from becoming an excuse because it was mine for this entire year and I got fat. Started getting fat, started getting unhealthy and irritated and angry and yeah, all kinds of things that are not good. All right. People are like, "Yeah, of course. I would be the happiest ever, right?" Awesome. So, how did that happen? I developed a simple habit of getting on one sales call per day. Now, this $1,200 is really $3,600 because it's a 3-month payment plan that I closed somebody for, right? That they enrolled in one of our programs, but I had to manually get on a call and see what this person needed. And if we couldn't help them with what they need, then I would be like, okay, we don't have anything that's good for you. But if it was something that we could help them with, then I said, hey, yes, we do have a program. And then they would have to make a decision at that point to say yes or no to my services. Does that make sense, guys? So for you, what that would look like is if you have a service, like you can help somebody learn how to code, or if you can help build something for somebody with code, then you would get on a call and you would have a 20 to 30 minutes exchange of words. You would exchange words with them and be like, da 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 da, ask them a question, listen, ask them a question, listen, ask them a question, listen. And then 30 minutes in, you'd be like, hey, I have something for you that might be able to help you. Are you interested in hearing more? They're like, yes. Then you go, okay, well, I have a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day mentorship program where I'll teach you how to code and improve your skills. This is how much it's going to cost. You could have it be $300, $100, $50. It doesn't matter. You could have it be $3,000 or $4,000, right? That's what I'm doing. So you could have it be that. And if the person sees value in it, then it's their decision whether they want to say yes or no. You're not holding anybody to a gunpoint. You are having a genuine conversation, and then you're saying, hey, I think we have something for you. Do you want it? Yes or no? And then it's just their decision. But what I can control on my end in order to improve my income is I can just develop a good habit to focus on cash and income and sales generating strategies. Does that make sense? So this is why it all comes down to habits, right? If you want to improve your body, good water, good food, good exercise habits, right? These 3 habits will improve your health. You guys agree with me or disagree? Right? When it comes to improving your income, if you can get on a sales call every single day, just one, it's going to improve your income. Does that make sense? Awesome. Nikhil says, agreed. Srikar says, yes. Yep. You can blame the tides or you can go with them, right? Totally agree with you. Totally agree. Cool. Yes, Gurveet, I do listen to Audible quite a bit. Yep. Okay. So, any mods, please just go ahead and block anybody that's That's just saying dumb shit. Like, keep the chat clean. Otherwise, we're just going to block you from the chat. So that is important. All right. So this is a habit that you guys can develop too. Maybe you guys can develop a habit of, hey, I'm going to do a few outreaches every single day, 2 to 3 outreaches every single day. It could be tiny. It could be really small. Make sure it's something that takes you less than 2 minutes to do it, but something that you do every single day. So I'm going to ask you guys later, what's a habit that you can get into? All right, cool. So let's move forward here. And then, yep, I read a book at the end, which is right over here, right? Cool. This is the app I use to keep track of my streaks. So things I want to make habits. And so it's a habit tracker app. So you can see it's tracking my gym 21 days in a row, shower, video content, days I'm taking my protein, and days I'm doing sales calls. It's actually tracking all of these things, right? So you can see I wrote them all down here. So you guys can do the same thing where you can track whatever habits are important to you. And then, boom, over the next few days, you see incredible results. Would you guys like to see amazing results in your life? And maybe it's not $1,200, but hey, what if you made $120 sale? Wouldn't that be cool? That would be $120 extra that you made. Now imagine if you could make $120 every single day. Well, what happens when you make $120 every single day? Multiply that by 7 days. That's $840 in 1 week. Multiply that by 4, and now you found a way to generate $3,360 worth of extra income than you were making. Now, Dipinder is asking me a great question, and he said, hey, that makes sense, but how do you get these sales calls? How do you pitch yourself anywhere? So that's a good question. So let's talk about that. You can go on Fiverr or Upwork or LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook groups or Wyzant or Take Lessons or Craigslist, the 10 platforms that I just mentioned, and you can do outreach on them. And you can reach out to your target ideal clients. So, for example, people who would be interested in learning coding, you can reach out to them. You can have a conversation with them, and you can say, hey, start a conversation with them and then just be like, hey, would you be interested in learning coding and improving your skills? And if they're like, yes, or you're like, hey, would you be interested in making a project like this with React? And they're like, yes. Would you be open to getting on a short call? If they say yes, now you've just gotten on a sales call. And now your habit for the day is done. And on that call, you speak with them for 30 minutes to learn about their goals. And then at the end, you just say, hey, if you're interested, I have a service that I think could help you. And then wait for their permission to continue. And if they're like, yes, what is it? Then you can have a conversation about it. You could be like, this is how much it is, this is how much it costs, and I think it'll really help you. And then you just wait for them to say yes or no. If they say no, nothing changed in your life, you're still the same person. If they say yes, you've now generated an extra $50, extra $100, extra $1,000. All right. And boom, now you're actually making an income. And now you're actually have extra income for whatever you really want to use it for. Right. So this is what's important for you guys too, right? So for example, personally, me, I've cleared $4,400 cash. So I want to make myself accountable too. So if we're all trying to increase our income, I'm like, okay, let me get in there manually with everybody else, and we can all go together, and we're all at different levels, right? So I'm here and I'm like, okay, I've cleared $4,400 cash this week just over the phone using my phone. Okay. And I've probably spent an hour, hour and a half max, right? So would you like to make $4,400 in an hour and a half? Yes or no? In the comments below, let me know. And now imagine clearing $4,400 in 1 week with this device. With this device that we all have right here. There's no excuse. It's right, literally right here, right? And in total, the revenue is actually $9,200 because this is the cash that was generated, but what's going to be collected later over the period of 3 months when it gets paid out is going to be $9,200. So imagine clearing almost $10,000 in an hour and a half with 3 calls. Would that be powerful for you? Would that be helpful for you? Right? So this is what I want you to understand, the power of these habits, you guys. Fitness, just eat clean. Exercise. For income, just get on sales calls. 1 sales call a day. 1 sales call a week. Some kind of habit. Because I know for most people it's 0, which makes sense why they're making 0 extra dollars than they normally would. Small habits are insane. I encourage, if you want to go down the rabbit hole of habits, I recommend you read the book Atomic Habits. Absolutely fantastic. Life-changing for me. Got me, going and like really destructuring everything I do. All right. So those are the life-changing apps I use, right? And I already show you guys what they are. And I'm going to show you what these apps are called if you guys want them. So do you guys want me to share these apps with you, by the way, or I can skip this portion if you guys want. But if you think that these apps would be valuable, I'd be happy to share them with you guys. I like that. Angel, so small habits are insane or actually sane? Make up your mind. That's funny. I like it. Matea says, yes, please share. Hell yeah. Okay. Cool. Priyanshu says, sure. So here it is. So you guys can get this app. This app is called Done. You can have it on your iPhone. I think this is a pretty amazing app. You can use it to quit habits or build habits. I'm only using it to build habits. And for me, it's workouts and a few other ones that I've already listed out. Protein and stuff like that. You can make it workout and code and then whatever else you want, right? So this app is a good app, and I'm going to move forward. This is a really good app, and I recommend that you all get it, because if you want to increase your financial skills and you want to know how you're doing, here's the thing, right? If you want to decrease your weight, you have to check your weight. If you don't track your weight, it's going to be really hard for you to decrease your weight because you're going to be just going all over the place. So just like when it comes to your body weight, you need to track it to drop it. With your money, it's the same way. If you want to increase your money, you better track your money. And there's only one number that I personally care about that I want to share with you, and you can write this down as well for yourself. That's more important than anything, is this word right here, okay? This is the only thing I want you guys to use. This is one number that'll tell you about all your financial health. And so we can practice on this live stream right here, actually. Net worth. This is the one number I want you to care about and know, and you don't have to know about any other number. All this means, and I'm not talking about the crazy net worth where you're like trying to figure out how much your house is worth and your car is worth. No. I just mean, how much cash do you have in bank versus how much money do you have on your credit cards? So, for example, let's say you had like, 3 different credit cards. Let's say you had 3 different credit cards, and, on this credit card, you had like $1,000 debt. And then on another credit card, you had $2,000 debt. And then let's say you had a bank account where you had $5,000 in their cash. Okay. So what would your net worth be? Can anybody guess? Your net worth would be positive $2,000. That's your net worth. That's the only number I want you to care about. If I knew this number, I know about your financial health. I don't care about all of this crap. I just want to know this number right here. So for those of you guys who actually want to take action and change things, what I want you to do is go ahead and in the comments below, I want you to actually write what your net worth is. So in the comments, write what your net worth is. for some of you, for a lot of people, it's actually negative. It's actually a lot of the times negative, like 5,000 or negative 10,000. For most people, it's negative. So if you find it negative and you don't want to share it, don't be embarrassed about it. Just share it, because you're going to give it too much power, and then it makes it hard for you to actually increase your income and ability to make money. Code Ninja says 2,000. The Clip Zone says 0. Emra says about 300 euro. Used says 1,500. Ashfaq says 35,000 Indian rupees. If you guys can do me a huge favor and turn it all into USD for me, please, because that'll help me understand and maybe even give you insight. But just please convert it into USD for me. That'll really help. Zayn says $9,000. Victor says 27K, 500. Yep. And what I want you to do, if you're serious about changing your life and your income forever, I want you to look at this one number every day and stop being scared of it or embarrassed about it, any of that. Eric says around negative 45,000 student loans. A lot of people, that happens with them. Student loans become a thing, right? Negative 3K for Canenza. Ashfaq says $466. Enthusiast Tech, $475. Priyansh is $24. Nice, but you're positive, bro. Graph Dev says 300K, negative 300K. Holy crap. Wow. What have you been up to? 2,444, 00. Okay, cool. So now here's what I want to say for you guys, okay? The only thing I want you guys to track when it comes, just know your net worth. That's it. And if you actually use this app, Personal Capital, it's so easy. All you have to do is just put in your like your credit cards and your whatever checking account, and it will just tell you your net worth right at the top here. It makes it so easy. You guys see this right here, net worth. Boom, it just gives you what your net worth is right there. And you can actually even see a graph. So what you want to see is you want to see a graph of your net worth going up. All right. Graph says that's why I'm changing the type of my business. What business are you doing right now? 9,000 USD. Venmun says, yep. So you want this, guys, to be increasing forever. That's what you want. All right. And you want it to be where every quarter or every few months, this says something positive, like you had a positive change in your net worth. But the first step is to track it. So what I normally do, right? Rukuya is excited. So what I do is I have a folder all the way at the bottom called Finance. Hopefully you guys can see it. Right? And you can see Personal Capital is right there in the middle. Right? And I check that pretty much every single day. I'll get on it and I'll log in. It needs to either see my face or have me type in the password. I'll get on and I'll go and look and I'll be like, okay, cool. So I see my trend. Overall, it's been positive. That's a really good sign. At one glance, I can see that one number that gives me my entire financial health. Know this one number. If you just know this number, guys, you are good in life. You are so good, and you're going to only move forward. If you make money complex, you're going to run away from it, and it's going to make your life so difficult and so hard. Just know this one number net worth and just keep making it go up. That's it, and you're good to go, okay? That's one of the really important things I can share with you. Mohsen says 2K. Awesome. All right. So whether you're in positive or negative, no worries, guys. Give yourself a pat on the back. You're in it. You're investing in yourself. You're on this YouTube live stream. You're watching this. You're commenting, and you're already engaging in this. All right. So now it's time for you to start taking action and moving it forward. But don't develop shame or guilt around looking at this thing. Most people have a lot of shame and guilt when it comes to their income. So they have a really poor relationship with it. If you have a poor relationship with it, it's going to feel awful to you. You're never going to want to look at it. It's going to be like punishment. So work on changing your relationship with it and how it feels. Because if you're at negative 6,000, like somebody said, your chances are you're going to be like really screwed for a really long time because you're going to hate looking at it. And if you hate looking at it, you're never going to want to change your income. So you're going to stay at negative 6K. Whereas somebody who's in positive like 3K or 8K or 10K and they like looking at it, they're going to go from 10K to like 100K. Whereas the person who's at negative 6 is going to stay at negative 6. But if you start enjoying the process of looking at it and going from negative 6, or this week I'm going to go from negative 6 to negative 6,000 to, let's say, negative 5,900. That's cool. I improved by $100. I'll go from negative 5,900 to negative 5,600 this next week. Cool. I sold some stuff and I'm like down to that. Boom. You guys are going to keep moving forward. I'm going to try to apply for some developer jobs or some developer gigs on these platforms. Damn, I'm at negative 4,000 now. Damn, I'm at negative 2,000 now. Oh shit, I'm at positive 2,000. Oh, I'm at 10,000. Damn. Momentum. Feels great. But if you don't track it, it's not going to improve. Cool? Awesome. Let's keep it moving. If you guys don't have this app exactly, then find some other app that's relevant to this. This is another app that I use. This really, really helpful for me. It's called LifeSum, and this is the one where I track my food and calories and everything, and it's helping me lose weight and just get very healthy and fit and get my mind right. So, and the UI of this is just fantastic. If for no other reason you get this app, but just to see what a phenomenal user experience looks like, a user interface looks like as a developer, this is the app to check out and study. All right, let's move forward. Now, winners and losers often have the same goals. So I wanted to share this with you guys because a winner wants to make $1 million and also a loser wants to make $1 million. What separates the two? A winner developer wants to make 5,000 a month and a loser developer also wants to make 5,000 a month. What separates the two? Here's the thing. If you completely ignored your goals and focused only on your system, would you still succeed? For example, let me see if I can zoom in on this more. Nah, I can't. Okay. If you were a basketball coach and you ignored your goal to win a championship and focused only on what your team does at practice each day, would you still get results? I think you would. So here's the thing. Winners and losers have the same goals. The only difference between winners and losers is process. That's it. That's the only difference. Winners actually follow a process that will get them that result. Losers go up and down and do a lot of random things, right? So losers do random stuff like this. And then they get discouraged and they don't get results and they quit, right? Whereas a winner will be like, hey, I got to get to here. So I'm going to do this and this, this, and this. And oh, look, I got here. All right. So for you guys, it's the same way. This is why I'm pushing you guys to make $5 this week or $10 as a freelancer this week and then share those wins. Okay, let me go here. And this is something I've been getting pretty into and getting pretty excited about, which is like making money a habit, right? So if you can actually make making money a habit, how insane is that? Like literally you can make generating revenue a habit. And by the way, if you haven't already smashed that like button, guys, do it because it's going to help the video go out to more people. And habits are very simple. You got cue, craving, response, reward. All right. So a cue is you smell food. Craving is you can experience what that chicken or what that biryani or whatever it is that's amazing. is going to taste like in your body. So you start craving it. And then the response means your action. So then you go to an actual restaurant to purchase that same food that you were craving for. Let's say it's chicken and French fries. And then your reward is the dopamine hit. Like once you eat it, it's that dopamine hit that you get after eating it, right? So that's how habits work. So you can make making money as a developer a habit. You can actually give yourselves cues and cravings. You're not going to in the start have a craving. If you don't do something, you actually don't have a craving. So it looks like this. If you look at the dopamine, in the start, it actually, everything is like flatlined. And then as soon as you get the reward, boom, you're like, wow, that feels amazing. So then this is graph, like let's say 1. Then what it looks like in graph 2, if I made graph 2, Salman, thank you for the $5 donation. He says, really loving this content. I built a React resume and portfolio video series too. That's amazing. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Man Patel says, I just got my first client with $250 for making a WordPress site. Yes. So we got 300 plus 250. Amazing. 550 made just on this stream. That's epic. Thanks for sharing that. And I will actually screenshot it. Let's see if I can send it to David. Cool. Cool. All right, cool. So let's go here. Now, graph 2 actually looks like this. Because you already have gotten a reward, now you get that dopamine hit during the craving phase. So, for example, something will cue you and you will start craving and you will get that dopamine hit. Then you will like go and take the response to do it, meaning you'll take the action to do it, and then you'll get the reward and you'll be like pretty excited about it, right? So you'll only start to develop a craving for something once you've already gotten reward from it and that dopamine hit. So what does that mean? That means until you get your first few sales and you make some money, you're not going to crave it. You're not going to be able to develop sales calls or outreaching as a developer into a habit until you actually go through the process and you get that sale. But once you get that sale and you get that dopamine hit of what it feels like to make $1,000 or $250, well then now the next time you can actually anticipate it and crave it in anticipation. And then it will start becoming a more and more of a habit. That makes sense? I got my first few clients from platforms like Quiescent, Take Lessons, and Craigslist. So that, cool. All right. If you guys really want something to be a habit, you guys can actually stack it with something you guaranteed do. So for example, I know guaranteed I wake up. So this was a new habit. So I'm going to actually say new habit, right? And this over here, waking up, is an old habit. So habit stacking means you can actually chain your habits. So you can take an old habit and connect a new habit with it, and now that new habit becomes your habit. So for you, if it's like you can make it so you have the habit of, oh, thank you so much, baby, appreciate it. So you can have the habit of waking up, and then you could doing outreach or going on Fiverr and doing outreaches. That makes sense? So you can chain them together. This is your old habit and this is your new habit, and now they're chained. And if you do that for 60 to 80 days, it'll become something you start craving, and you'll feel weird if you don't outreach on Fiverr or Upwork or freelancer.com or whatever the platform is, right? It'll actually become weird. Cool. So, habit 1, habit 2, habit 3, habit 4, you can stack them, you can chain them. It'll make you likely to do them more, right? So for example, after I pour my morning cup of coffee, I will meditate for 60 seconds. So go ahead right now in the comments below, because I care more about transformations. I'm not interested in here to actually give you content. I want to help you guys actually make a difference in your life. So in the comments below, I want you guys to go ahead and write what's the new habit that you're going to develop that'll help you make more money as a freelance developer. That's 1. And 2, what habit are you going to chain it with? So write a full sentence like right now, because otherwise, what's the point of watching this, right? What's the point of us being here? So let's actually use this to do something positive so we can make an impact in our own income and in our own life, because that is exciting. So write down below for you what that actually means. What's that new habit that you're going to develop? And I'm going to start reading it out loud. And in a little bit, we'll start doing calls as well. Okay, so we got somebody saying, all right, so we got Gurveet saying, I will drink a gallon of water every day. Okay, amazing. Priyanshu says, I will meditate and post on Instagram. Amazing. Sayed says, wake up and have exercise. Awesome. Matea says, swap social media with Upwork. That's brilliant. That will help you make guaranteed more money. Guaranteed. Just that swap. I mean, you're saying that you're probably going to still use social media. That's really hard to just give up social media. So that's not really habit stacking, because you're making like that's something you're using willpower to say right now, but you're going to run out of that willpower and you're going to go back to eventually just using social media. Of course, if you could do this and stick to it, then unbelievable results would happen for you. But what I would rather have you say is chain. I would rather have you chain your, Upwork to you doing something. Like you brush your teeth, and right after you're done brushing your teeth, you can say, hey, I'll go on Upwork. Because right now you won't have a queue to go on Upwork. You'll have no queue. You're 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 never even going to think about going on Upwork. That's the thing. So you got to create your own queue. Leonor says, wake up and watch lectures in university. Great. That's awesome. Technic Filer says, 1, enhance my skills. 2, I will reduce my laziness. Those are not habits. You can't just do that. You can't just go, I'll increase my willpower. You can't just do that. So that's not going to do anything for you. Waking up at 4 a.m. Okay, dope. That's good. We'll put 2 to 3 hours every day apart from my job from now on to build my portfolio, and we'll full throttle on increasing my net worth. Awesome. Wake up and read a book also. Awesome. That's cool. Awesome. So these are good, guys. As long as you do these, you're going to be on track for greatness. lot of you still are not talking about how you're going to increase your income as a developer. So if you don't talk about how you're going to do that, your income is not going to increase. And if you clicked on this video, I imagine that's probably to increase your income. So I'm happy for your lifestyle and health goals, but I do want you guys to also talk about what your plan is to increase your income, what habit you're going to develop. I will check Upwork after I wake up. Or maybe there's another thing that you guaranteed do every day. I don't know what it is. Maybe you work every day. So you can be like, I'm going to check this after I get off work or right before I go to work. So take something you do guaranteed and then chain it after or before it, the new habit that you're trying to create. Daigazo says, I've joined people per hour yesterday. That's awesome. Now, are you doing outreach on there? Because if you're not doing outreach, you're not going to actually get clients. So I want you to actually develop some kind of action plan and do that every day. I've applied to people per hour. Patch says, why is that Upwork take less and started the process of reaching out to freelancing clients? Awesome. So Patch, can you actually make that a habit of outreaching and maybe even set a time on in a day? So it's something you do guaranteed every single day. And then it's just chained to your day. So it could either be chained to you waking up, it could be chained to you working out, it could be chained to, I don't know, you after you play your guitar every day. Could, like, whatever it is. Dai Gazo says, my question is, what strategy follows? Should I take aggressive technique and send requests all the time? So don't spam, but start conversations. Start sales conversations. That's what I want you guys to focus on. So what does that look like? Compliment and question. That's how you start a conversation with somebody. Compliment, question. So for example, you go on somebody's Instagram or you reach out to somebody and you're like, haha, that's amazing. I love what you're doing right now with juggling, or I love what you're doing right now with surfing. That looks dope. Are you staying safe during Corona? Question mark. Now, boom, you've just created a conversation. After a few text messages, like literally one or two more, you can change it to like, what's your goal right now with coding? What's your goal right now with this? But you guys don't have to even do that right now on Instagram and platforms like LinkedIn. That's a little bit more advanced. You can, but I would recommend you just go on people per hour and Craigslist, where they're very transactional marketplaces, and you can actually be much more aggressive in your approach because people understand that you're trying to give them a service. Yep. On those platforms, outreach and just be like, hey, I can actually help you with your code. Or, yes, for $5, I will do some project. Or for $50, I'll do some project. So small, but I want you guys to collect wins. Zainab says, that's amazing. She goes, I wake up, meditate, tell myself nothing is impossible, and get to coding at least 2 hours before I attend my classes. That's awesome. Your well-wisher says, can I pay in installments for Profit with JavaScript course? Yes. I think if in the description, if you click, you can pay in installments for Profit with JavaScript. There are 3 installments. All right, let's see what we got. Okay. Right, so this is an example of an outreach. Oh, sorry. So here is an example of an outreach right over here, right? Compliment. This is somebody else's. This is not me outreaching. But basically, she saw this girl is lifting. So she's like, that's so strong. That's a compliment, right? And then, dang, I missed the barbell. Haha. So now it's like relating to that person, right? So basically, this whole thing is kind of like a compliment. And then question. So compliment question works really well to start a conversation with somebody. And these are the platforms that you guys have. Wise Ant, Take Lessons, People Per Hour, Code Mentor, Craigslist. Now it's your job to hammer that shit and apply to like 40 a day or 100 a day. That's your job, right? That's where you have to set your own daily goals and you have to set your own daily habits. I can't do that for you. I can't want it more for you. I'm sharing with you what I'm doing that's resulting in $1,200 to $3,000 or more extra cash every single day. My goal is to keep sharing this with you guys and take my own personal income to a run rate of $2 million or $3 million per year. That's my goal. Your goal can be, I'm going to take my income to $50,000 or $60,000. You can come with me and we can go together and increase our income. I'll keep sharing with you the advanced tactics and strategies and tricks and tips and techniques that are working for me. Then it's up to you how you use it. You can choose to throw it away. You can choose to use it. Totally up to you. Doesn't matter to me. So these are all things I used to make 100 grand before I had a business. You guys can use these platforms and hold on. The installments, Gurveet says, I can't see the installments on PWJ. That's weird. I mean, the installments should be there. It's a 3-month installment plan. Let's see here. So yeah, there's it's clearly right here. This is an installment, and then you click the join now button, right? Unless I'm missing something really, really crazy. This is installment. All right, there we go. Cool. Phenomenal course. The best course there is on JavaScript and making an income. Like if you guys are serious about increasing your income, you want to make an additional $1,000 or $5,000 a month, that's the course for you. It's freaking awesome. So with that said, here are all the platforms that you guys have at your disposal, right? You got LinkedIn, you got Instagram, you got Facebook groups, you got Upwork, you got freelancer.com. Put them to use, sign up for them, and then start applying. Most importantly, develop a long-lasting habit. 2 outreaches every day. Every day, every day, every day. Hit that for a week, and increase it to 3 outreaches every day. 1 client is all you need to put $1 to $2 to $3 to $4,000 extra per month for yourself. Sales habits. Got to develop those sales habits. Yeah, you can actually show a lot of code on your Instagram, by the way, Degazo. Dope. Okay. And yep, I think I went over this stuff already, so I'm not going to go too much over that. With that said, that's it. I'll take on some calls if you guys are interested in getting on some calls, and then I'm gonna hop off. Probably I'll take 1 or 2 calls. Yeah, drop your phone number and I'll give you a call. Brahim, what the hell? I was just about to call you. Then you retracted your phone number.
What's going down, brother?
Yo, how you doing, Patch?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, bro. So amazing having you live on the YouTubes.
Yeah, man. I love it. I love it. I love, if nothing else, I love the community and love all the information and love just fucking chatting with everybody. It's like a family reunion,
Yeah.
Yo, how you doing, Pat? So yeah, it's great, man.
Amazing. Are you listening to my stream right now on
Yeah, it's a little bit behind, so I muted it.
Okay, maybe I just muted because I can hear myself.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, but yeah, man. Yeah, I applied. I set up Upwork, freelancer, take lessons, people per hour, all that stuff. And, I'm trying to get my profiles looking nice and pretty before I start submitting, I want to make that good first impression.
Okay, awesome. So you're working on your profiles right now.
Yeah. And then I just got my third client, third tutoring client today,
Uh-huh.
which has been great. I've been loving teaching and tutoring and, just looking to build my skills up and just solidify the skills I already do have and just get better, man. I want to be so good I can't be ignored, as they say in the
Oh yeah.
entertainment industry.
Cal Newport says that too in his books. Um
Yeah, man.
okay, so I'm just going to write some of this stuff down here. Okay. So you have how many clients currently?
I currently have three.
3 clients currently. Okay. And how much are they paying you?
Two of them are 25 an hour, and one of them is 30 an hour.
Uh-huh. Okay. 30 an hour. Okay. And how many hours are you generally doing every week with them? By
Um,
the way, congratulations. That's fucking awesome. But go ahead.
oh, thanks, man. Yeah. It's been a little. It's not like Monday, Wednesday, Friday we have a call. It's just I just kind of tell them like whenever you guys are available and
How
you want to
much
do it.
how much have they how much have you generated so far? Is it like $50? Is it $100 like from these?
Yeah, it's $50 so far. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And are you so now okay. So you don't have planned followed up sessions with them.
I mean, I tell them, whenever you guys, I just kind of like leave it up to them for now, which I'm not sure is the right approach, but I'm just kind of like, all right, when do you want to do your next lesson? So I pose that question,
Yeah.
and then, they'll either say, when you available? And be like, I'm available tomorrow. Be like, all right, let's do it tomorrow. So, I just kind of like put the ball in their court, which again, I'm not sure is the correct approach, but, I also don't want to like make them feel forced.
Uh-huh.
Um, so, you know, again, I don't know if that's the correct approach, but that's what I've been going with so far.
Okay, cool. So this is not the best approach because you're putting a ball in their court, but what you're not realizing is they're putting the ball in your court.
Gotcha.
So until somebody just takes a fucking ball and starts doing something with it, nothing will really happen.
Right.
Um, like I'll give you an example, right?
Okay.
When I book my I work out with Adrian, right? I don't know if you see him on my Instagram stories, but he's
Yeah.
right,
Miller Muscle or something, right?
Miller Muscle, exactly. So I train
Yeah.
with him, right?
Yeah.
So when I was gonna book a session with him, I only did one session. But before he left, he closed me for 10 follow-up sessions.
Okay.
And in that moment, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I kind of just, he was like, when do you want to do the next one? And I was like, I'll hit you up. He's like, how about we do 10? We book 10. I'm like, that sounds cool. Yeah, I'm like, just follow up with me later and we can take it from there. And he asked me, he goes, yeah, let's just go ahead and Venmo it right now and then go from there. And I was like, damn, all right, he got me. I was like, all right, cool, let's just do it.
Right.
So I Venmoed him and paid him for the 10 upcoming sessions. But guess what? Do you think I'm happy right now that we have 10 sessions booked in advance, or I'm pissed?
Right. I see what you're saying.
See what I'm saying? So, like,
Yeah.
I am happy that he made me pull the trigger, because every single time I'm done with one of those sessions, I'm like, fuck yes. And I like watch myself grow. Because if he hadn't done that, I wouldn't book 10 sessions. I would just do one, and then like it would just be airy fairy and everything would get lost. And I would not be getting the results I want in my kickboxing skills or fitness skills.
Sure.
So I'm thankful that he closed me.
Right. Yeah. No, that that makes a lot of sense. And then also what I have told them is like, I don't want you guys to book. I actually said I don't want you guys to book 10 lessons in advance and then not have the time to do them, and they just kind of like back themselves up and stuff like that. But I guess I'll have to sort of like reformat that a little bit.
Well, they don't have to book the times in advance.
Right. True. Yeah, that's a good point.
They can
Okay.
they can keep the time flexible. That's what Adrian does, for example. The time will be flexible. So, like, if you like, I'll give you an example, right? Even we have a 90-day program. If we don't have a 90-day transformational program, nobody's going to want to do more than just a few calls, because people get confused or lost. They can't see the slow progress, right? Like, if you want to get somebody to here, and if they're excited about getting to this goal, I think my screen will show you in about 30 seconds or whatever, because
Okay.
you're probably behind. But if somebody wants to get to some high level goal, right? They're not going to see all the small steps that they take to get there, but they're going to realize once they're there, they're going to be like, oh, now I can do this. That's sick.
Yeah.
These small steps here are like, maybe let's say 12 sessions you had with them.
Right.
So, especially as somebody who's not there yet where they want to be, they're not going to know what they need to get there. So, it's actually not their job to figure that out. Their job is to pay you to figure that out.
Right.
So, for
Yeah.
example, you see what I'm saying? So, for example,
Yeah.
for you, the there are multiple ways you can make more income, right? And let's just brainstorm together. What are ways you can improve your income right now?
Uh, well, joining all the websites like People Per Hour and Wyzant and Upwork and all that stuff, and reaching out to, seeing a job and, sending in an application for it, or, posting stuff on Instagram or Facebook, or pretty much I feel like it's whatever methods you can do to show people that they can trust you with you teaching them what it is they want to learn.
Got it.
So
So,
whatever format that is. I'm sure it's different for everyone, but those are the just particular ways that I like to do it.
got it. So basically, one way you can increase your income is by increasing the volume of outreach, right?
Yep.
So one is just volume. What is another way you could increase your income?
Um. Uh. Don't know. You know, Making a website, or like, not necessarily reaching out, but just putting yourself out there. Like, here's my
I'm gonna
portfolio,
I'm gonna
or
still throw that in the outreach column for volume.
gotcha. Cool. Um.
So what about
Yeah.
what if you doubled the rate that you charge? Would that increase your income?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So that's another way, right?
Yep.
So if you double your price, you would double your income pretty much overnight.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Um,
Cool.
is there any other way we could increase your income? Like a
Uh,
different type of way?
okay. I was gonna say I don't know if this falls in the same category, but booking people for sort of like a package deal on lessons rather than one at a time.
Yes,
Um,
exactly. So selling packages, that's brilliant. That's really smart. Okay. So you could do a package deal instead of one offs. So when you say a package deal, what I want you to focus more on is, and this is going to help boost your income and take you into 4 or 5 figures very, very quickly. But so there's one off and then there are package deals, right? I want you to think of in terms of transformation deals.
okay. Sort of like a results based package, if you will. Like if you take
Yes.
this program, then in 10 lessons, I'll make you a master at JavaScript or whatever.
Yep. So like
Yeah.
understand what their goal is and understand their language and frustration point. So you're not projecting your language and your goals.
Right.
If they're saying my goal is to master the part of, the basics of JavaScript, like that's really frustrating for me. Then if your program can help them with that, then now it's a transformation deal. Like this is a it's a 10 sessions, but it's like a
Yeah.
transformation package deal.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would
Cool. Okay.
and you could even so now what's the benefit of a package, you know, versus one-offs?
Well, a package would sort of guarantee you the money up front, and it would be in tune with something more sort of consistent and guaranteed rather than just do it whenever you feel like it. That inconsistency.
Yes. And consistency and reliability is actually a huge thing that a lot of freelancers don't know how to get to, but
Right.
they want to get to that.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's a big sort of that's very much interwoven with your ability of your soft skills and stuff like that.
Correct.
Right.
Absolutely. So, okay, so now we have really good ways. We got uh now can you tell me which ways are, if we had to put them in difficulty,
Hmm.
which way is easy, medium, and hard? So like these three that we have right now. Outreach,
Right.
2x your price, transformation deal.
I feel like just split package deal and reach out because the package deal I feel like is always going to be the harder sell because it's more money up front. But and the two times the price is it's obviously more money, but it's not as
So
much money.
when I say difficult, I mean in terms of like effort that it requires from you.
Oh,
So,
right.
right? So for example, which one of these is high effort requiring versus low effort requiring? That's what I mean with easy and hard.
Gotcha. Well, then probably the reach out would be the most difficult
Yep.
because it just requires more emails, more writing, more research
Yep.
and stuff like that to
So
find the people to reach out to.
so that's the hard one. Which ones are, is there any other ones that are also hard, or are they medium or easy? And which ones are those?
Uh, I feel like, you know, I feel like as is then as it's written. I mean, I've then the package deal will be the easiest because if you sell one person on a 10 lesson package and there's $500 right there. Um, so I feel like that's probably the easiest in terms of like how to bring in income. Um, but at the same time, the 2x the price is sort of feels like the same kind of thing except just on a smaller scale.
Yep.
But
So,
yeah,
so what would you put the 2x the pricing? Would you put that as easy thing that requires, it's easy in terms of the effort that it requires on your end? Is it hard or medium?
I'd say I'd say I want to say medium,
Okay.
um, but just because it's only one lesson,
I mean,
so it's like
it could be more. It could be one lesson, or it could be doubling the price of your transformation deal, like your entire
right,
package deal.
right,
So, do you want to hear my thoughts on this?
definitely, yeah,
So, I agree with you on the outreach. It's the most difficult, and it's very vague as well. It's like
hmm
very ethereal. It's like intangible, right? Now, between these other two, the one that I think is the easiest personally is the pricing. It takes almost zero effort on your end. The only effort it takes on your end that when it's time to say the price, instead of saying the word 50, you have to say the word 100.
right,
So effort wise, it's actually the least effort taking. So it's like the easiest. Doesn't mean it will work. Doesn't mean you have to do it. But effort wise, I think that increasing the price is the easiest thing to do. It's very low effort on your end.
yeah,
The package one I would say is like easy or medium because you have to actually come up with what the transformation is like. Then you have to actually
sure,
pitch what the transformation is. You have to actually have a sales call. So like that takes a little bit more effort.
that makes sense,
But
yeah,
I think in the ballpark, like we're on the same page. So okay, so this is good. Now, the one thing I want to speak with you about here is when you talk about reaching out,
hmm
it's a random cloud of things, and I want to help give you some clarity in there
okay,
because this is where a lot of people get lost with the outreach. So I want you to become very precise with this shit, and I'll help you work backwards. So let's say we want to get let's start with the sale first, and then we'll work backwards from there. So
okay.
how much would you want to charge with your, let's say, a transformation deal? First of all, how many sessions would this transformation deal be?
Um, I think somewhere between 8 to 10, I reckon would be a good starting point.
Okay, 8 to 10 sessions. I love that. Great. And how much would you charge total for it? Like, let's just say it's 10 sessions.
Yeah. So I would normally, um, you know, $30 an hour is just for 1 hour. That would be, let's say, $300 for 10 sessions. But I feel like there's potentially more value in a transformation package as opposed to just a one-off lesson here and there.
Yes.
So I mean, I could feel it being justified in saying, I know I'm $30 an hour, but you pay 400 for 10 lessons, which equates to $40 an hour. You're ultimately sort of, quote unquote, getting guaranteed results as opposed to, because this is what I offer in this package. And if you believe that I can do it, then
Yeah.
buy the package. But, if you don't believe I can do it, then, we'll just do one off lessons here and there.
Yep. So in this, you're focusing on the results. You're also you can also tell them, hey, you can reach out to me through text, whatever questions you
Right.
have.
Right.
So cool. So we can do, so this will be 10 sessions, for example. Okay, I'm just going to write 10S, and that's what that will signify. Okay, cool. So 10 sessions for $400. I love that. I think that's actually really good starting point, and I think that's very possible. Now, working backwards from here, what I mean is let's work backwards to how we can get to that 400, right? So okay, so we got the sale is 400. Now, in order for the sale to happen, what is the action that you need to do? What's the action that happens right before the money goes into your bank account?
What's the action that happens? Like, the contact with the client or something like that, or the actual
Exactly.
physical sales call. Yeah.
The physical sales call, right?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is actually the closest thing. This is the action that actually generates revenue in your bank account.
Right.
Cool. So now we'll work backwards from there as well, right? So okay, so this if this is the last step, and then this is, let's just say, sales calls like the second last step.
Right.
What happens before the sales call? What do you need to
Uh,
do in order to get on a sales call? Like, what's the step that happens before the sales call generally?
the the reaching out to the client and seeing if they would be interested in something like this, and asking them if they wanted to get on the phone for a chat, and I can tell them what it's all about and what I'm offering and stuff.
So is it the outreach or is it the conversation in the DMs? Which one is it?
Is the outreach which leads to the conversation in the DMs, which leads to the sales call
Yep. So the step that's right before the sales calls is actually the conversation.
in the DMs. Yeah.
Yep. So it's like, so I'll just say DMs.
Yeah.
And then what's the thing that happens in order to get, so basically, correct me if I'm wrong in any area, or just let me know if I'm right so far. So
Hmm.
we're in the DMs, we're having a conversation, then we
Hmm.
generate a sales call, then we get on the sales call, then we pitch the program, and $400 just cash, cha-ching, just hit our bank account. So far,
Right.
so good.
Yeah.
So what's the action that happens before we can actually get into DMs?
Uh, well, you find for example, somebody that wants to learn, and you happen to offer what they're looking to learn, and then you just say, hey, so it still is a DM, but it's like a different level of a different type of DM. It's like, hey, are you open to this conversation? So it's kind of like
Yep.
sort of the investigation into the potential client.
Yeah, but yeah, so what's happening right before the DMs is you're actually, before a conversation takes place, you're actually outreaching to multiple people, right? And then only one of those people chooses to have a conversation with you.
Right.
So, right before DMs, is it fair to say that the thing that you're actually doing is outreach? And when I say outreach, I mean you say, hey, like text messaging 5, 10, 20 different people. That's what I mean specifically by outreach. Is it fair to say right before conversations in the DMs, outreach takes place?
Yeah.
Okay. So outreach. Okay. So now we've gone it down to a 4-step process, right? Outreach, conversation, sales call, cash and bank.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So with this outreach thing, there are two different types of outreach. There is an inbound and then there's outbound. Do you know the difference between the two?
uh well, outbound would maybe be you reaching out, and inbound would be them seeing your profile and reaching out.
Correct. So when you make content, the only purpose of that content is to generate what types of inbound or outbound?
Inbound.
Yeah. The whole point of creating content, aka when people lightly use the term putting myself out there, or they say something, the whole point is to generate inbound interest.
Right.
Um, but you can always be doing outbound because that never ends. That pool is like unlimited, right?
Yeah.
But you always have to make sure you're making forward progress, because you can outreach to 1 million people, but if you never actually start a conversation in the DMs, will you ever lead to making $400 in cash?
No.
If you reach out to 1 million, you have 1 million conversations going, but you don't do a single sales call, will you ever hit $400 cash in bank?
No.
No. So it's less about how many are we doing, is more about how many are actually completing the entire process and getting to the pitch on a sales call,
Right.
right?
Yep.
So generally what I'll tell you is, if you have a regular sales script, if you are like an average person with the average, like somewhat commonsensical sales script, you can close 20% of the people that you get on a call with.
Not bad.
So we'll do some reverse math in there, right? So basically, to make one sale, how many calls would you need to get on, Patch?
5.
Perfect. So we would need to get on 5 sales calls in order to generate $400. You agree with me?
Yep.
Cool. Now, in order to get on 5 sales calls, how many conversations in the DMs would we need to be having in order to generate those sales calls? So I'll give you this. Generally, what I've seen is 10% of the convos will ever get to a sales call if you're doing a good sales script in the DMs.
Hmm.
So how many conversations would you need to have to generate one sales call? So how many to just generate one sales call?
10%, about 10.
Yep. So 10, I'll write this where my face doesn't block it. So 10 DMs will equal one sales call, right?
Yeah.
So in order to generate 5 sales calls, how many conversations would you need to have going?
To generate 10 sales calls, about 50, right?
I'm sorry, to generate 5 sales calls, 5.
Generate 5 sales calls if 10% leads to a sales call. Yeah, about 50, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So you would need to have 50 conversations ongoing in order to do 5 calls. And on those 5 calls, you could sell something for 400 or 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000. 3,000 is where it gets like a little bit more difficult, but
Hmm.
you could definitely sell something for 1,000 to 2,000. And let's go one step back. In order to generate 50 conversations, how many outreaches would we need to be doing? So
Uh,
I will say it like this. I'll say, mm, honestly, if you do a good job and you're not just spamming people, 10% of the people you outreach should turn into a conversation.
hmm
So that's what I would say. So how many outreaches would we need to do to get one conversation going?
uh, about 50.
10% of them will turn. So you would need to do, let me see if I could rephrase it. 1 out of every 10 people you reach out to turn into a conversation in the DMs.
Right.
So to generate one conversation in the DMs, you would need to
Right.
do 10 outreaches. I'm going to,
Okay.
you see what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I see. I see. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Right? Okay. So 10, let me write it the other way. So 10 outreach is equal to 1 DM convo ongoing. Cool. All right. So then, in order to get 50 convos going, now you would actually need to do quite a lot of work, right? 10 times, that would be like
Yeah.
10 times
Right.
50. So you would need to do about 500 outreaches to get 50 convos, if that makes sense.
Right. Yep.
Yep. Okay. Okay, cool. So this is like a lot of volume. In my experience, if you're doing good outreach, generally 30% of the people will reply to you. And if you're doing really good DMs, like 30% of the people will actually get on a call with you. So you can reduce the number like crazy if you're not spamming. Like if you don't spam, you don't have to do 50 outreaches. You can actually do 20 outreaches and generate a sale.
Right.
Like it's really crazy how effective it can be if you take the time to actually personalize your messages. But this is like,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying I really don't like spamming either because, people have done it to me before and it's annoying. So I would never want to do it to someone else.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Exactly. So
Plus,
go
plus
ahead.
it shows, more personality, and the fact that you took the time to personalize the message, I
That's
think
right.
means a lot more.
Yep, it does. It means a lot for people. And that's why the results also show, if you actually do that, it's completely worth the time and energy to do that. So basically, 500 outreaches will lead to one sale. And then that's one customer you can work with on a recurring basis. Even after their session is over, you could do it again. Now, to do 500 outreaches, I think that it can take about, if you're focused, how long would it take to do between, how many outreaches have you done, by the way, total?
I mean, probably about 10 to 20 so far, somewhere in there.
And how many, did any of them lead to sales for you?
Um, yeah, 3 of them did.
You got 3 clients from 10 to 20 outreaches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, well, I kind of knew already who maybe would have wanted to learn. And
Yes.
so, I had already had their phone number anyways because I had known them, and I was like, hey, listen, this is what I'm doing. If
How
this is
how
something,
how had you already known them? Where
uh,
where did you get them from?
two of them are from just friends of mine that I've known for a little while who were, also bartenders looking for something else to do. And I said, well, this is what I'm doing, and it's been pretty great so far. And they're both like musicians, so like artsy type guys. So I just kind of like pitched them, what I have found to be the most enjoyable parts about, learning how to program.
Yeah.
And they just got really excited about it. And actually, the other one was from um, TWJ, was somebody that reached out to me.
Yeah.
So I had two outbound and one inbound. So I lied. One of them reached out to me, but the other two I got from reaching out myself.
That's really smart. Like with how you're going, I really believe that if you actually did 50 outreaches or less, I think you can actually get a sale because I think you also have a good eye. These numbers are for like literally if somebody was just trying to play the volume game and wasn't even
Right.
focusing on the quality of messages.
Right.
But if you're doing a good quality of messages, I really believe that with about 50 outreaches, you can generate a sale. So I'm actually going to do a different type of math for you. So, like, let's say 50 outreaches leads to $400. Then the question only becomes how long does it take you to do 50 outreaches?
Right. I mean, I'm pretty, I'm not doing much nowadays because my jobs are still closed. So I'm pretty much home all day working on my computer or working on something. So, I mean, it could maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days to do 50 outreaches.
Why would it take so many days to do 50 outreaches?
I suppose just to maybe do a little bit of research and maybe find people to reach out to.
Oh, I
Uh,
see.
yeah.
Okay. So let's say, so you said how many days? 2 days or 3 days?
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 days.
Okay. And would it take 8 hours a day?
It could do. I mean, especially if I'm trying to write, I'm a writer too. I want my writing to be good. I want it to be
So
precise. I want it to be clear.
I'll give you something very incredible for this. And this works really well. For the starting of an outreach, what works incredibly well is one sentence, probably max 2 sentences, but like one sentence, which is just 1 or 2 lines,
Hmm.
and it's just compliment and question. So literally, for example, if I sent a long outreach, oftentimes people don't reply because it comes off too salesy and not like regular conversational enough.
Sure.
So the very simple combination that works extremely effectively is if you do an outreach and you're just like, saw that you do this thing, saw that you play the guitar or you play the piano, and that's freaking amazing. How's it going? How are you holding up with coronavirus? Are you keeping safe? Question mark. S-
Sure.
Something as simple as that can be a thing that you can kind of copy paste. Of course, you're going to reach out to people you think are likely to actually pay for the service. So that might take you some time to find them. But
Yeah.
the outreach, I would highly recommend to not overcomplicate, because that's one area that you can over engineer and actually the results get worse.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So if you
So,
were to do um, almost a copy paste outreach, but still like personalized to each person, and if it was one sentence long, how long would it take you to do 50 outreaches?
I mean, probably not even a day then.
Okay. Could we
Yeah.
maybe, how many hours would it take you?
I I could do it within 8, I reckon.
Within 8 hours. Within
Yeah,
eight
somewhere
hours.
around there.
Within 8 hours, if 8 hours paid off to you making $400, would that be worth it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that would put your hourly rate effectively at like $40 an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. So 8 hours, let's just say for you equals one sale. And as you start to do it more, you build more momentum. And also, oftentimes, there's a high chance that those other people you're having conversation with can also turn into a sale. So it's very possible that your 8 hours could result in 2 or 3 sales.
Yeah.
It's also possible that the person that you sell to might book you again after 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's also possible that if you got a few sales, you could increase your price. So then when you make a sale, it's $600,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So the only question is at this point is, do you believe this is worth your time to do this for 8 hours one of these days?
Yeah, absolutely. Hands down, no question.
Do you think there's a good day this week for you to try this strategy and see how it goes?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could make a nice day of it on Sunday, that's for sure.
Mm, that's dope. I don't know
Yeah.
how you do this stuff, but like for a day like this, I would actually even love to just go and sit at a mall, like just people watch and eat food somewhere and just read a book and do this the rest of the time.
Yeah, no, that sounds lovely.
That's amazing. So what do you so okay, so you're thinking about doing it potentially this Sunday?
Yeah, potentially. I'm my day is not set in stone yet, so I figured I could potentially put it in there.
Okay. And where would you be when you do it?
Um, I would probably be at home, but there's also a park up the street from my apartment that's probably kind of a ghost town right now, so I could go sit up there with some lunch and stuff like that, and kind of make a nice little day outside out of it.
Okay. So if this is something that you want to get behind, this is something that will actually help your life and you want to do, can we actually on this call commit to you doing it this Sunday and taking action on it?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
That's sick. Um, okay, and how if we're about to go about it, can you reach out to me on either Saturday or Sunday that you're gonna go and execute on this and send me an Instagram story tagging me?
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck yeah, bro. That's exciting.
Hell yeah, yeah, it is.
And let's execute on this. And the 50 outreaches, whether you do them from Ant or take lessons or any other platform, the goal is just to get to 50 outreaches.
Yeah.
Dope. Okay. I think that this is a phenomenal strategy. And if this works, I will just be so fucking pumped. I know that this works, like guaranteed, because I've done it. Even when I hear you, you're like, yo, I did 10 to 20 outreaches and the result was 3 clients.
Yeah.
You kind of already know that this is very possible.
Totally.
And if you need any help, you can reach out to me. But let's just make sure we do one thing, which is let's use this momentum and the energy that we've spent and the fact that we're on this call to commit to doing it on Sunday, and then just reach out to me, letting me know that you've done it on this Sunday, and then we can go from there.
Sounds great, man. I appreciate all the guidance for sure.
Amazing, man. I'm super, super excited.
You too.
Pumped to have you on, brother. Anything else?
No, just you know, I appreciate everything you guys do, man. Like, 4 months ago, before I started doing this whole thing, I was like, man, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Yeah.
And then so I found like a great like comfort and avenue to still be creative and have a lot of fun doing it. And so that's kind of my most favorite thing about programming is the creativity, the art, the creating, and then the community too.
It's amazing. It
It is.
really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro,
So yeah, man.
I am so excited, man. I can't wait. And I know that this is only going to just make it even more practical and real for you. And it gives you even more time to enjoy programming, learning, and just being more creative.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. I look forward to it.
Awesome, brother. Thanks for being on this call. And you're reaching out to me this Sunday.
Yes, definitely. Will do, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, brother. Take care. Bye.
All right. You too. See ya.
Dope. That was awesome. Hopefully, you guys also enjoyed it. Guys, give it up. Not that one. Hey. Great job, Patch. That was an awesome call. Thanks for hopping on. Hopefully, you guys also enjoyed it. A lot going on there, right? There was a lot to unpack and go through. Hopefully, maybe it gave you some insight into your world when it comes to freelancing or coding or improving your income, the thought process that goes behind it. But if you really break it down systematically and you get extremely precise about your language and precise about how it works, then you just need to like follow these very clear, simple steps, and then you can actually get to the goal that you're trying to get to. Joseph says, so 400 could turn into a $1,200 day. Exactly. That's how I did 1,200 cash yesterday. No different than exactly what I was sharing with Patch. Just blanked out completely. But because I've worked on this process for a long period of time and I'm getting inbound leads, I'm closing almost 100 to 75% right now, which is really, really crazy. So it's like I got 2 sales calls and I closed 2 sales calls, and that was $2,400 cash, and that was 1 hour of total my time. So, and revenue wise, that was 7,200 for 1 hour of my time, right? So that, when you start getting better and better and better at it and you start doing it every single day, you can really take it to the next level. But just small steps, one at a time, and then we go from there. That's it. Yeah, Nikhil, yeah, need a day. You can reach out through email as well. That works. Yeah, I have a program where I do this type of mentoring. It's called Profitable Shortcut, and that's a really high level program. And we this is, these are the types of things we actually work on, and we try to explode people's incomes and really keep taking it to the next level. Yep. Nikhil says, man, want to join the program so badly. PWJ. Yeah, PWJ. So we have Profit with JavaScript. The one I do mentoring in is Profitable Shortcut. So they're two different programs. But I recommend the first program people join is Profit with JavaScript. And then if they really want to take it to the next level, they can join Profitable Shortcut. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, had fun, got some insight. I love your beautiful face. Do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And with that said, this is your boy Qazi, and I love your beautiful face. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.